Direct steal, and Johnny Cash put his name on it.
Apart from Folsom Prison, yeah, that is right. Any more questions? Any question? I'll ask you a question.
You're the first person I've asked that question to. It's got near it.
Yeah, there you go.
You see?
But the thing is, I love music. What was Elvis Presley's first #1 record? It actually hit #1 in this country.
In this country?
In this country.
Oh, that would be...
Go on, I'm looking at you. I wish I could put on my other glasses because I look better in them. I look like John.
That would be...
Is that filming?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh.
Jeez, you got me now. That's Alright Mama?
No, it never even charted here. That's Alright Mama.
Would it be Teddy Bear?
No, that's from the film Loving You.
Would it be Hard-Headed Woman?
That's from the film.
Okay.
That's from the film King Creole.
No, you got me now.
What do you mean? You could have said like Hound Dog or Blue Suede Shoes, couldn't you?
Well, that was obvious. I didn't think.
But it wasn't there.
It wasn't obvious.
No, they only got to #2, and you could have said Heartbreak Hotel.
What, One Night?
No, that was much later. I mean, you could have said, couldn't you? You could have said, let's see.
Love Me Tender?
You could have said, oh, come on, that's from the film Love Me Tender.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm not a big Elvis man.
Well, Elvis, without Elvis, you've got nothing. Before Elvis, there was nothing.
I know. So,
but there was Johnny Burnett and these people, rockabilly.
I love the original.
I mean, my love of my life is Hank Williams. Great stuff. But the first Elvis.
I don't know.
Well,
put me out of my misery.
He had a massive hit with the Heartbreak Hotel, didn't he?
Yeah.
When he got to #2.
#2, yeah.
First #1 Elvis had in this country was all shook up.
Really? Was it?
Really? Yeah, on HMV.
God, Lord. No, I never really. I got him much later on, but at the time I wasn't. Other than the first few.
And the B-side,
then he got a bit soft, didn't he?
The B-side was That's When the Heartaches Begins. The first time he spoke on record.
Now here's another one for you.
Go on.
John Lennon stole a famous line from one of Elvis's songs.
Did he? I don't know this.
You've got to remember, because I can't.
Well, I can't remember. But I'll tell you something.
One of the great Beatles songs.
Well, I'll tell you something which
I think what it was now.
I'll tell you something that they did rip off. We were playing the Aintree Institute. And so we used to meet at the Windsor Castle, the pub. And they had the Orrell Park up the hill. Alright? So the Undertakers were there and they were playing the Orrell Park and we were playing the Aintree with the Beatles. And everybody would meet up in the Windsor Castle. Now in the Windsor Castle pub there's a jukebox and you put your own records in and play them for free. And they'd written Love Me Do. And they're trying to work it out, what they could do with it. And Paul came running in and said to John, listen to this. Here's an idea, John. And he put it on. And it was Hey Baby by Bruce Sanell. The harmonica bits. If you listen to Love Me Do, you find it's very close to Love Me Do. That's where it came from.
Wow.
But when the Beatles were that unusual, I'll tell you a great little story. Everybody did the A side of this record, you see. I said, the Beatles did Boys. I've been told when a boy kisses a girl. I said, yeah. Where'd you get that? It's amazing, that's fantastic. He said, well, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? Turn it over. It's the B-side.
B-side.
By the Shirelles.
Yeah.
So from then, everybody went and looked. And when the Beatles came back, and we were doing like Cliff Richard stuff in the Shadows, and they were playing stuff we'd forgotten, Carl Peck, and we weren't doing it anymore. So we were hunting the records out. Like I hunted out, never forget it. Blue Moon of Kentucky by Elvis. I've got the first. It's here somewhere. The very first Elvis album, somewhere here. But anyway, so we went on and we're on with the Beatles and said, yeah, here you go, man, Blue Moon. Anyway, so we did Blue Moon of Kentucky, and everybody's like cheering and clapping.
I've remembered.
What did the Beatles do? They come on and kicked off with Blue Moon of Kentucky, but they're the rain. They did it like Blue Moon of Kentucky. Anyway, Blue Moon. It just blew us away again.
I remembered the words, and because you're a specialist in Elvis, you must know which Elvis song. It was the Beatles song was "Run for Your Life," and it says he starts off, "I'd rather see your dead little girl," and that's an Elvis Presley line.
See your dead little girl, it's somebody else's wife.
So that's where he got it from.
I'd rather see your dead little girl than
I'd rather see your dead little girl
than somebody else's wife. Isn't that the line? I don't know.
But it was an original Elvis line which Lennon stole.
Honestly, I give up because, as you can tell from here, I haven't got much Beatles stuff.
No.
I've got like #1 with the Beatles. Actually, everything they've ever done, everything Paul McCartney's ever done is here. You know, I must admit. A copy of a letter says.
So we're back again after we just had a cup of tea.
We're just.
And we just, as he does, you know, he just pulls out an envelope and he goes, "Oh, it's a letter
from Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
1961, 62.
1962.
Where they've gone back to Germany, and he says he's had. I've got my glasses again, man. Oh God, I can't read it.
Yeah, do you want to try those?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's it. The group's quite say a drink finishes at 2 o'clock in the morning. 4 or 5 weekends. The pianist. So when he goes on about the pianist, sometimes Sheridan, Tony Sheridan, that is. We're probably recording with him, so it's before the Beat Boys. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Play with us in the other band, the Graduate Southampton group. Play the rest of the week with Type of Everly's, and he's describing the bands on. The Germans like good old rock and roll, and so what I say, That's Alright Mama, Dizzy Miss Lizzie, Hey Babe, and so on. What else is that? The interesting part, I love it, is moaning about the audiences will vary from about 15 years old to 60 sometimes, which we had quite a few letters from fans, I think, and we've tried to answer most of them. Yeah, did it? Hold on. He talks about Davy Jones out here. They
played with him. He was the American black singer, yeah?
Yeah, that's him, Davy Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Food is the most expensive thing. A big meal could cost over £1. A pot of tea is 3 shillings. Cornflake and milk, 2 shillings. So, you know, we're skint. Think about it, man. There's Paul McCartney. It's there, read it. Food is the dearest thing. You got it?
Let's have a look.
It's the dearest thing.
Yeah.
A big meal could cost over £1. A pot of tea is about 3 shillings. Cornflakes and milk, 2 shillings. That's why they're skint. Isn't that lovely? Hey, fancy saying that?
Did you ever think they wouldn't be worried about that in the future?
If we make records.